Hi again. We're still talking about graphing and its basics, the basics of graphing. I just finished saying a moment ago that the x-axis goes on forever theoretically, and the y-axis goes on forever theoretically. We know that that's not really true or practical, but I still wanted you to know that. Another thing I wanted to know you to note was that on this graph that I've drawn here, the numbers go in order from 0, 1, 2, 3, etc., both directions. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes they go and skip numbers. They might have a graph that on the horizontal goes 2, 4, 6, 8, or who knows, 5, 10, 15, 20. Whatever the maker of the graph wants to talk about or explain, that's how they'll make up their graph. So sometimes you'll be given information and be required to graph that. It'll be up to you what the numbers are. They have to fit on the page. They can't be the graph can't be too big, otherwise it won't fit on the page, and it can't be too small, otherwise you can't read it. Okay, so depending on what information you've been given, that is how you make up your graph. At the beginning, like where we're at right now, I'll typically give you the numbers on the graph. But if you look back at the temperature in April, what did the person who wrote the graph do? They said April 1st. Then the next one was April 8th. Was it 8th? Yeah. And then the next one was the 16th. Oh, sorry, the 15th, and so on. So every block on that graph goes up the same amount. Now, there's a part in this information here that I disagree with, and I'll just point it out to you. See where it says the 0 right there? The 0 over to the first number is 1. And so what I want to do there is I want to correct that and put a little squiggly. I'll show you what I mean. I'll put the squiggly here. There you go. See that? That squiggly means that it doesn't follow the same rules as the rest of them. All the other numbers go up by 7. 1. The next line up is 8. That's an increase of 7. 15, 22, 29. They all go up by 7. And so they're all supposed to go up by 7. And that's why I had to make that little jagged line there to show you that that doesn't follow the same pattern. Okay, that's a little bit beyond some of us, but I was noticing that when I was talking about the spaces between the numbers. They all have to be the same. This is an exception. So that shows that something is happening at that point. Okay, so let's erase these values, and I'm going to get you to try and describe the locations or the coordinates of these points. I'll take all this off. I'll give each point a name. This is the point A. This is the point B. And this is the point C. How did they come off? Beautiful. Okay, so your job is to pause the video for a second, figure out what are the coordinates of each one of those points. Okay, so just pause the video or continue listening, whatever you think is best, and we'll talk about the answers in a minute, okay? So The point A, how did we get the point A? Well, we went across first. We got to the number 5. So that must mean that the number 5 comes first. Then there's a comma. And how far up did we go? Oh, we only went up 1. So the next number is 1. The point A is at 5, 1. The point B, let's see, how far across did we go from 0? Oh, we went to 2, little crooked, so that's going to be 2. How high did we go? We went to 4. And so B is at the point 2, 4. And finally, we went to C, start at 0, go across till we get to where the number is. Oh, that must be a 7. There's my bracket. There's my 7. Okay, how high did we climb? Looks like we're at about the number 3. I'll just make that nicer there. So C is at the point 7, 3. We say the coordinates of C are 7, 3. Now we're just using nice, neat whole numbers here. There could be a time when you're saying, oh, that's the point 7.1, comma 3.08. But we're not there yet. We don't need that. Okay? As long as we know how to describe a point on a graph. And of course, you might imagine that at some time we'll attach all the points and they'll have some sort of meaning. Okay, for now I will leave it at that, and you have a great day. Take care. And I'm looking in the mirror, or I'm looking in my camera, and goodbye.